Imagine this. Linda, a vibrant 72-year-old grandmother, suddenly feels a strange weakness creeping over one side of her face and arm. Confused but alert, she remembers hearing about stroke warning signs but isn't quite sure what to do. Luckily, her quick recognition and immediate call for help spared her from devastating consequences. Stories like Linda's remind us that time is brain. Every second counts when it comes to stroke. Recognizing the early signs isn't just important, it's life-saving. At Elderly Wisdom Secrets, we believe that knowledge is the first step toward empowerment. Today, we'll walk through the most critical warning signs of stroke, helping you protect yourself and your loved ones before it's too late. Because the difference between recovery and long-term disability often comes down to recognizing the signs early and acting fast. Let's dive into what you need to know to stay safe and healthy. Next, we'll explore exactly what a stroke is and why understanding it can save lives. What is a stroke and why timing is critical? To understand why recognizing stroke symptoms quickly is so vital, let's first explore what a stroke really is. Picture John, a 68-year-old man who suddenly experienced numbness on one side of his body and slurred speech. At first, he brushed it off, thinking it would pass, but within minutes, his condition worsened dramatically. What John didn't realize was that a stroke occurs when blood flow to the brain is interrupted, either by a blockage or a burst blood vessel. Without immediate treatment, brain cells begin to die, leading to permanent damage or even death. This is why medical experts talk about the golden hour, the critical window of time after stroke symptoms appear when treatment can prevent severe brain injury. The sooner treatment begins, the more brain function can be saved. In fact, studies show that receiving care within the first hour can dramatically improve recovery outcomes and reduce long-term disabilities. Every minute counts because, as the saying goes, time is brain. Knowing this makes it clear why recognizing the warning signs early isn't just helpful. It can mean the difference between walking away healthy or facing lifelong challenges. Now that we understand why timing is critical, let's break down the specific warning signs you need to watch for to act fast and save a life. The 5 most common early warning signs of stroke, detailed explanation. One of the most powerful tools you have against stroke is knowing what to look for. Take Mark, a 70-year-old retiree, who suddenly felt numbness creeping over the right side of his face and arm. He knew something was wrong and called 911 immediately. This sudden weakness, especially on one side of the body, is often the first and most common sign of stroke. It's a red flag that your brain isn't getting enough blood. Then there's Mary, who noticed her husband suddenly becoming confused, struggling to speak clearly, and unable to understand what she was saying. Sudden confusion or trouble speaking is another classic warning sign. It's like the brain's language center has been interrupted. Research shows that these symptoms appear in more than 80% of stroke cases. Early recognition of speech difficulties often leads to faster treatment and better recovery. Vision problems can also be a silent warning. Sarah experienced sudden trouble seeing out of one eye and knew to seek help right away. Sudden vision loss or blurred vision in one or both eyes signals that the blood flow to the visual parts of the brain might be compromised. Studies confirm that early detection of vision disturbances can reduce severe brain damage. Next is difficulty walking, dizziness, or a loss of balance, symptoms John experienced just before his stroke. When your brain's coordination centers are affected, you might stumble, feel dizzy, or find it hard to stay upright. Research from the National Stroke Association highlights that these motor issues are often overlooked but are critical early warnings. Finally, a sudden, severe headache with no known cause can't be ignored. Lisa had the worst headache of her life one afternoon and rushed to the hospital, which saved her life. This symptom can indicate a hemorrhagic stroke, where a blood vessel ruptures. Quick action here is vital. Each of these signs, whether obvious or subtle, offers a chance to intervene before permanent damage occurs. Recognizing them early and calling emergency services can drastically change outcomes. Now that you know what to watch for, let's explore some lesser-known stroke warning signs that could also save lives. The lesser-known stroke warning signs to watch out for. While the 5 major stroke warning signs are well known, there are some lesser-known signals that can be just as important to recognize. Take Helen, a 66-year-old woman who experienced brief episodes of weakness and vision loss that lasted only a few minutes. At first, she dismissed them as fatigue or stress. But these were actually signs of a transient ischemic attack, or TIA, often called a mini-stroke. TIAs are temporary blockages that warn of a full stroke to come if left untreated. Recognizing these subtle episodes can provide a crucial window of opportunity to get medical help before serious damage occurs. Another subtle but serious sign is sudden difficulty swallowing. When Michael, 69, suddenly found himself choking on his food and struggling to swallow, he didn't connect it to stroke. Yet this difficulty can indicate the brain areas controlling swallowing are affected, and it requires immediate attention. Similarly, sudden unexplained fatigue or confusion, especially if it comes on quickly, can be an early warning. Jane, 72, noticed she was unusually tired and disoriented for no clear reason. It turned out to be a warning sign of impaired brain function that preceded a stroke. While these signs may seem less dramatic, ignoring them can be dangerous. According to stroke experts, early recognition of these minor symptoms leads to faster treatment and significantly better outcomes. Now that we've covered these subtle signs, it's important to understand common mistakes that delay treatment and how to avoid them, because recognizing symptoms is only the first step. Common mistakes people make that delay stroke treatment. When stroke symptoms strike, every second is precious. Yet many people unknowingly make mistakes that delay treatment and cost precious brain function. Take Tom, a 68-year-old who experienced sudden weakness and dizziness but thought it was just fatigue from a long day. Instead of calling for help, he waited, hoping the symptoms would fade. Unfortunately, that delay resulted in a more severe stroke and a longer recovery. This common mistake, ignoring or minimizing symptoms, happens far too often. Another frequent error is not calling emergency services immediately. Linda's neighbor, Susan, noticed Susan's husband showing clear signs of stroke. But instead of dialing 911, they tried to drive him to the hospital themselves. This decision not only delayed critical treatment but also increased the risk of complications. Emergency responders are trained to act quickly and can get stroke patients to the right care faster. Sometimes, people don't recognize the symptoms at all or are unsure what they mean. Causing hesitation, lack of awareness and confusion can be deadly. That's why education is so important. By avoiding these mistakes, never ignoring symptoms, always calling emergency services immediately, and knowing the signs, you dramatically improve chances for recovery. Now that you know what not to do, let's focus on what you should do if you or a loved one shows signs of stroke. Knowing the right steps can save a life. What to do if you suspect a stroke. Step-by-step guide. When Emily noticed her father suddenly struggling to speak and unable to lift his right arm, panic set in, but she remembered what she learned about stroke signs and acted fast. The first thing she did was call 911 immediately. Knowing that every second counted, emergency dispatchers guided her through the next steps, ensuring her father was safe and calm while waiting for help to arrive. This quick response made all the difference in his recovery. If you or someone near you shows any signs of stroke, whether sudden weakness, confusion, vision trouble, or severe headache, don't wait or hesitate. Call emergency services right away. Avoid the temptation to drive to the hospital yourself. Medical professionals can provide life-saving care en route and prioritize your treatment upon arrival. Make sure to note the exact time when symptoms began, as this information is critical for doctors to decide on the best treatment options. Taking these actions quickly can drastically reduce brain damage and improve the chances of a full recovery. Now that you know how to respond immediately, let's look at how family and friends can support stroke survivors on their path to healing and regain quality of life. How to support stroke survivors. What family and friends should know. After Mark survived his stroke thanks to quick action, his recovery journey truly began, one that required the unwavering support of his family and friends. His daughter, Emily, became his biggest advocate, helping him with physical therapy exercises, encouraging healthy habits, and providing emotional strength when frustration and fear crept in. Mark's story reminds us that surviving a stroke is only the first step. Recovery is a team effort. Supporting stroke survivors means understanding their unique challenges, from relearning simple tasks to coping with emotional changes. Family and friends play a vital role in creating a safe and positive environment, helping with daily routines, and encouraging patience and persistence. The National Stroke Association emphasizes that social support significantly improves rehabilitation outcomes and overall quality of life. Being there for a loved one, listening without judgment, and celebrating every small victory can make all the difference. It's also essential to educate yourself about stroke recovery, so you know how to provide the right kind of help at the right time. Now that we've explored how support shapes recovery, let's focus on prevention, how recognizing early warning signs fits into a lifestyle designed to keep your brain and body strong and your stroke risk low. Prevention tips. How recognizing early signs fits into a stroke-safe lifestyle. After his recovery, Mark didn't just stop at rehabilitation. He embraced a new lifestyle focused on preventing another stroke. He started eating heart-healthy meals, managing his blood pressure, and staying physically active every day. But Mark's biggest game changer was learning to recognize those early warning signs and taking action immediately whenever something felt off. This proactive mindset empowered him to take control of his health and reduce his risk dramatically. Prevention isn't just about avoiding stroke, it's about living fully and well. According to the American Heart Association, maintaining a balanced diet, regular exercise, stress management, and controlling conditions like hypertension and diabetes are key pillars of stroke prevention. Knowing the signs early complements these lifestyle choices by giving you the chance to seek urgent care before damage occurs. By weaving awareness into daily habits, you build a stroke-safe lifestyle that protects your brain and body. This holistic approach is what keeps people like Mark thriving and enjoying life with confidence. Now that we've covered prevention, let's wrap up with a final message on taking charge of your brain and heart health starting today. Mark's journey, from recognizing the subtle signs of a stroke to embracing a healthy lifestyle, reminds us all of a simple truth: your brain and your life depend on quick action. Stroke can happen suddenly, but with the right knowledge and response, you can protect yourself and those you love from its devastating effects. The stories we've shared show how awareness, timely action, and lifestyle changes are powerful tools in this fight. You don't have to be a medical expert to save a life. You just need to know what to look for and what steps to take. Whether it's spotting numbness in a loved one's face or calling 911 the moment confusion appears, your quick response can be the difference between recovery and lasting disability. And beyond emergencies, committing to a stroke-safe lifestyle ensures that you're doing everything you can to keep your brain and heart strong for years to come. If this video has helped you understand the importance of recognizing stroke warning signs and taking swift action, please like, share with your family and friends, and subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Secrets for more empowering health information. Together, we can build a community that stays informed, acts fast, and lives well. Remember, knowledge is power, and the best time to act is now.